Have you tried implementing surveys in your school district and heard these things? We don't trust you with our survey data. What did you do with last year's survey? This survey takes too long. What will you do with the data if you collect it now? Often when these things arise, it's due to poor survey design, poor follow-through, and a less than authentic approach, all which can erode trust and lead to unsupported claims. You can avoid these reactions before you administer your next surveys by asking yourself these 8 questions. Question 1. What do I want to accomplish with the data I receive from my survey? Understanding the purpose of your survey will help you to frame your questions and reach your intended objectives. Are you trying to inform a specific decision? Are you trying to learn more about how your students, teachers, staff, or parents think about a specific topic? Are you trying to identify action steps? Starting with the end in mind will help you align with the rest of your work. Question 2. Who's the survey intended audience? To be effective and efficient with people's time and to get the response rate you need, consider who you are surveying. Do you need a survey in multiple languages? If this is a student survey, what grade level bands does the survey cover? And are the questions adjusted accordingly? Understanding your audience impacts both the question design and the distribution of your survey. Question 3. What demographic data is important for my survey? When it comes to analyzing your survey, you need to consider what demographic data you need from the respondent. For example, do you need to know about their income, race, school, etc.? Will your respondents provide accurate information if you can identify them? Or does this information have the potential to reduce the number of respondents or cause unintended consequences? What demographic data would be the most helpful in disaggregating the data when the survey closes? For some questions, you need to strongly consider your audience and community before asking. Especially if you have a survey plan to reach a large group of people, consider your loudest objectors and what will they think when reading a question. For instance, might some parents object to a set of student survey questions if it's potentially objectionable? You can still ask it, just take the steps to mitigate the concern. Question 4. What are the best methods for collecting the survey? Now that you identified the purpose and audience of your survey, you need to think about how you want to collect data. If you want the best data, you'll want to connect responses to your data system so you can automatically pull and get the best demographic data as possible. So if you have a student survey, you want to connect your survey responses to the individual student so you can run reports on demographic factors, allowing you to identify gaps and address concerns with equity and fidelity. If you're trying to reach a wide audience, you'll want to make it easy to access the survey. Some people may engage with the text message survey rather than an email. You might also consider a QR code for in real life flyers, as well as distribution across multiple other communication channels. Question 5. Who should pre-read and test the survey? Now that you're ready to write your survey questions, consider who will help you review the survey. While as a survey creator, you may know what the survey intends to ask, the survey may not actually get those responses from the intended audience. Make sure the people helping you read and test your survey mirror the people you are trying to survey. And test the technology. Test the survey link, try it on different phones and different browsers, and make sure you have someone test the navigation. Question 6. What important response thresholds do I need to hit before I close my survey? Before you get started on launch your survey, ask yourself, what is a response rate that works for me? If you have a random and representative sampling, you may not need as many responses as you think. Alternatively, if you're doing a student survey, you may want to hear from every single voice. You should also consider your timing. By when do you need the data? If you have a deadline to report back to your school board, or if you want your principals to use the data for your campus improvement plans, backwards map your survey window. The date range when you will want to accept responses to match the needed timeline. Consider a survey closing date that is earlier than when you actually need the data. In other words, you can always extend your survey window if you need more responses, but your data deadline may be harder to adjust. Moreover, people often need the pressure of a deadline to complete the survey. Question 7. What is my plan for the data after the survey closes? Surveys become more relevant when you share the results. Organizations that don't share the survey results undermine trust and create survey fatigue. Share the results of your survey and the action steps you are taking with the data. If you hear something in your survey that you cannot take action on due to a legal requirement or financial limitation, don't dismiss the data. Reaffirm that you heard the concern and let the community know what you can or cannot do. Then take the time to explain. People understand more than you think when you take the time to engage with them. Leverage a rule from the book, The New School Rules for Communication, the 3x3 method. Consider how you can communicate 3 different ways in 3 different channels. For example, a report or presentation to the Board of Trustees could also be posted on your website and shared at the next parent or staff meeting. Try writing 3 different summaries and sending a targeted message out to the group. Consider publishing raw data, summarized data, and super summarized talking points so that you can hit audiences across multiple engagement levels. This helps to build trust and helps to ensure that the results are seen. Question 8. Will the survey results be impactful? Ultimately, what we all want is for all students to achieve success, and administering the right surveys can lead to a positive impact. We want to make sure that if we're collecting data, that it will be used to impact student achievement. Consider what kinds of questions will help us understand our students, staff, and community. What kind of questions should we also ask to ensure that once we have the results, we can actually act on them? For example, with our 7 C's of Effective Teaching Student Perception Survey, we can connect the teaching and learning experience to student achievement, making our survey results an accurate predictor of good teaching and learning. By providing individual teachers with actionable and meaningful data, we can ensure students achieve the excellence we all know that they are capable of. While a survey should be part of your listening strategy as it allows you to reach a wide and broad audience, it shouldn't be the only action you take. Make sure to consider what comes next, like focus groups, interviews, or school classroom observations, to either validate your survey data or make your results more actionable. With so many steps to manage, partnering with a company like Education Elements and our Tripod Survey Suite helps you focus on getting the right people surveyed, ensuring that all phases of your work matches your organization's needs, and receiving the backing of an experienced research team. If you're ready to administer surveys in your schools and districts or have any additional questions, reach out to us at info@edelements.com or visit tripoded.com. See you next time.